Hello, grade 11 Hope, and our topic for the week will be all about compound interest. So last time, we tackled about simple interest. So for now, we're going to tackle about the compound interest. For the learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you must be able to, number 1 is to illustrate simple and compound interest, distinguish between simple and compound interest. Next one is to compute for interest, maturity value, future value, and present value in simple interest and compound interest environment. And then, solve problems involving simple and compound interest. Okay, so that will be your learning objectives. So let's have a short recap about the definition of terms that we had last time. So what do you mean by interest? So when we say interest, it is a fraction or percentage being imputed to a sum of money. Okay, and then for the next topic or the next definition, we have here the principal amount or the sum of money that someone borrows or lends. Okay, so that will be the amount of money that you lend to someone or you borrowed from someone. And then the next one is the interest rate. So interest rate is the payment for borrowing money or lending money. So that will be the percentage of the principal amount due per period or the cost of borrowing the money. Okay, and then last one, we have here the time or the loan period, and make sure that you convert it into years. So for example, if the given time is within months, you need to convert it to years. For example, you need to divide the number of months with 12 because we have 12 months in a year. And then for example, if we have days, we can use 3 different ways. So we have 3 different divisors when it comes to days. We have here the bank year, which is 360 days only. So that's when we say bank year. Next one is normal year, wherein it has only 365 days. And then the third one is for leap year. So when the time is leap year, we must use 366 days for the divisor of the time or the loan period. Okay. So it is the agreed date or time when the loan will be paid in full. Okay. So that will be the time or loan period. Okay. So let's move on to compound interest. So what do you mean by compound interest, or what is the formula in compound interest? So when we say interest or compound interest, it is somehow defined as interest within an interest. Okay, so the formula for that will be the amount equals P or the principal amount, quantity 1, plus R over N, or wherein N is the number of compounding, and then raised to N times T. So we have here another formula for the future value. So this is the same as the formula a while ago. Again, for the future value or the amount, it will be equal to the principal amount, quantity 1 plus R over M, or which is the number of compounding, and then M times T. So what do you mean by number of compounding? So for example, when we say compound interest, you may see words such as compounded quarterly, compounded annually, compounded twice a year, compounded weekly, and then compounded bi-monthly. So that's what you see when we have compound interest in our word problems. Okay. So in simple interest, we cannot see those words because it's just simple interest. But when we say compound interest, we have interest over an interest. So that's why we have the number of compoundings or the words such as compounded annually, compounded monthly, compounded weekly, compounded daily. Okay. And then the formula that we use last time for simple interest, we can also use this one to find the value of the future value. So future value is equal to principal amount plus the interest. Okay. However, we can find the value of the principal amount using future value minus interest. And then we can also use F minus P when we have to find, or when we need to find the value of the interest using the value of the future value and then the principal amount. So we can derive the formula using this formula as well. Okay, so let's have examples. Number 1, you want to start saving money. You place a time deposit in Bank F for 50,000 with an interest rate of 5,000 compounded twice a year. How much will be the future value and interest after 5 years? Okay, so as I have said a while ago, the difference between the problems about simple interest and then compound interest is that in compound interest, we have these words such as compounded twice a year. So when we say compounded twice a year, therefore we have two number of compoundings every year. So when we say twice a year, it means two compounding a year, two compoundings every year. For example, we have here the problem is about compounded quarterly. When we say quarterly, that's therefore we have four different compoundings every year. When we have compounded monthly, that's why we have 12 compoundings every year. So that's what we call the number of compounding. So again, when we say compounded twice a year, therefore the number of compounding is 2. When we have quarterly, it means that we have 4 compoundings every year. When we say, for example, the number of compounding is, the problem is like this. It is compounded every 4 months. So the number of compounding will be 3 because we have 3 number of compoundings because 12 divided by 4, we have 3. So that's why we have 3 different compoundings every year. So let's go back to the given. We have here 5% compounded twice a year. So therefore, the number of compoundings will be twice or 2. So let's have the different given. We have here the principal amount, which is 50,000. The rate will be 5%, and then the time will be 5 years. Okay, so we are lucky because the given is already on its years or annually, so that we don't have to convert it into years. Okay, so again, if the given time is on its daily or weekly or monthly, we need to convert it first on its annual conversion. Okay, and then let's compute for the future value and then the interest. Okay, so let's have the formula. So future value equals P, which is the principal amount, times 1, quantity 1, plus R over M. The rate will be converted on its decimal places or decimal conversion. And then M will be the number of compoundings raised to M times T. Compounding, multiply it by the time in terms of years. So for example, this one. The principal amount is 50,000. So 50,000 quantity 1 plus 0.05, which is the conversion of 5% on decimal places. And then divided by the number of compounding. So we have here 2. And then raise it by the number of compoundings, multiply it by the number of years or the time. So upon using the calculator or upon solving it, we will have 64,004 pesos, 0.23 centavos for the value of the future value. And then for us to get the interest, we just need to subtract future value minus the principal amount, which is 50,000. So therefore, the value of the interest will be 14,004 pesos and 23 centavos. Okay, so just a reminder, when we're talking about money, so we just need to have 2 decimal places. Okay. Let's have another example. So you are planning to invest in a high-risk mutual fund, a professionally managed investment that brings together money from different investors and invest it in stocks, bonds, or other assets of Bank F, which will give you 5% interest compounded monthly in 5 years. Okay. You target to earn a total future value of 1 million pesos. How much should you invest in the mutual fund now? Okay. So when we analyze the problem, it says that you target to earn a total future value of 1 million pesos. So therefore, we have the given, which is the future value. And then the question is, how much should you invest in the mutual fund now? So therefore, we need to have the principal amount, or the missing value will be the principal amount. And we have here the future value, which is 1 million pesos. And then we need to look for the principal amount and then the interest. So with this given, we can also use the formula. Okay, so we have here the future value, which is 1 million pesos, the rate, which is 5%, and then the time is 5 years, and then the number of compounding will be monthly. So that's why we have here 12. So the number of compoundings will be 12 because we have here compounded monthly as the clue word for the number of compounding. Again, when we have compounded monthly, therefore we have 12 times a year for compounding. So upon using the formula, we will have the principal amount equals future value divided by 1 plus r over m raised to m times t. So that will be the formula. So let's substitute. So we have here 1 million pesos for the value of the future value, and in quantity 1 plus 0.05 for the value of the rate upon conversion, and then 12, which is the number of compoundings, and then raised to 12 times 5, 12 for the number of compoundings, and then 5 for the time, which is 5 years. Okay, and then just simplify. So upon simplification of this, we will have 1 plus 0.004, 167, and then 12 times 5, which is 6. Okay, and then upon using calculator, we will have 779,205 pesos, 0.39 centavos. So that's why you need to invest or put money within that bank for about 779,205 pesos, 0.39 centavos if you want to have a future value of 1 million pesos in 5 years within that bank. Okay, so this will be the formula. So again, the future value is 1 million pesos. So how can we get the number or the value of the interest? All we need to do is to subtract. So future value minus the principal amount, which is 779,205 pesos, 0.39 centavos. Upon subtraction, we will have 220,794 pesos and 61 centavos will be your interest. Okay. So that will be all for our topic, which is about the compound interest.